There are dozens of great Italian restaurants on Federal Hill, and everyone is passionate about which one is their favorite. But in this episode, we're going behind the scenes of two beloved spots that have stood the test of time: Camille's and Constantino's Venda. Join us as we explore the heart of Federal Hill on A Taste of Rhode Island.
Rhode Islanders are intensely proud of their history, culture, and above all, their food. With over 400 miles of coastline, diverse cultural influences, and a rich tradition of fishing and farming, Rhode Island is a food lover's mecca. We're taking you on a trip across the ocean state to taste the food and meet the chefs, farmers, brewers, distillers, and winemakers that make Rhode Island one of America's most exciting and dynamic food cultures. From classic to cutting edge, this is a taste of Rhode Island. This episode of A Taste of Rhode Island was made possible by the generous support of Sysco Boston, providing food service products to their New England customers for over 40 years. Good things come from Sysco.
Continental Security Systems, providing advanced security, monitoring, home theater, and smart home systems to southeastern New England for more than 30 years. And to our partners at Splash Wines. It's not a wine club, it's a revolution.
In the middle of Atwell Avenue is a Federal Hill institution. Constantino's Venda Ravioli is a multifaceted operation that has been a local favorite for over 75 years. Currently owned and operated by Alan Constantino, Venda Ravioli encompasses a deli, an Italian market, a pasta-making facility, a full-service restaurant, and a pizza kitchen. Walking into Venda Ravioli feels like walking into a slice of Italy.
Welcome to Venda Ravioli in the heart of the Italian district in Rhode Island. Venda's been here for over 70 years making fresh pasta, and during that period of time we've kind of expanded our operations to go into the restaurant end of the business as well as the deli end of the business, and pretty much bringing the whole Italian experience here to our area. We always like to consider ourselves the umbilical cord to Italy, the connection to all those products that you see and hear about we bring here daily. And welcome. Well, the store is kind of laid out in segments. Initially, when you walk in the door, especially in this day and age when people are looking for a grab-and-go type thing, that's our prepared food case. So all the dishes we make every day fresh are in that prepared food case, and that's presented to people during the lunchtime period. Now, on their way home, that's when people tend to buy more cold cuts. So we have a whole cold cut section. We make all our own bread here. We brought a baker especially in from Italy who made a specific kind of bread that we wanted. We sponsored him here over 15 years ago, and he's become a permanent citizen here. And so he makes a special bread for us. So even our sandwiches, when we make a sandwich for someone, it's our bread. It's not someone else's bread. Our pizza is our pizza. Our breadsticks are our breadsticks. We do everything in-house, and that has given us a lot more control over what we do and the quality of what we do. If you look at entire Italy, and let's say you consider Rome the Mezzogiorno, so everything north has a different flavor, everything south has a different flavor. So if you go further south, it's like going to the California of Italy, because all the vegetables are grown, and it's a different thing that they were influenced by. You got to remember, the South was invaded by the Romans, the Norse, the Saracens, so it's got an amalgam of all different cultures that created this thing that we call culinary and what they cook. Whether it be the tomato, whether it be the pizza, they took it to another level. So every area has something that's particular to that particular area. And in most cases, the cooking is simplistic because they live off the land. That's where all this, that old saying, necessity is the mother of invention. These people, to survive, had to live off the land. So they used all those ingredients to sustain them in their life trials. Quite interesting. So in Italy, there are 20 regions, and these regions all have a different interpretation of dishes that they make. But there's something else too. There's a 21st region, and that's the United States of America. So when Italians came here, they brought those traditions with them. Now, they didn't always necessarily have the same ingredients, so they kind of flew by the seat of their pants and they started making things and putting things together. So technically, I always consider America as the 21st region. But Italy is very territorial. So you go into one region and you might find a particular kind of pasta. You'll go 5 miles away and you will not see that pasta or that cheese that might be endemic to that particular area. So as I said, it's very regional, and they're also very protective of what they do. And when they migrated here to America, they brought those traditions with them. And that's why you see a little different interpretation on certain Italian dishes in America, because availability of ingredients, raw materials, and that's what's great about Italian food. So you go through the whole cold cut section, and there's everything imaginable there that anybody would want in terms of cold cuts. Our people are all trained and have multiple years of experience in the field. So they're well knowledgeable about all the items that we have. And then we go to the meat department, because that's an unusual place. We sell prime beef, we age our own beef, which we sell, and we make everything to order. So if you came and you said, I want a pork roast, we make it to order. You tell us what you want, how you want it. So we might put fig in there, we might put chestnut in that roast, we might put asparagus in that roast, depending upon the different roasts that we make for people, and it's made to order. Nothing is hanging around for a long period of time. Our meat director, JP, is selling sausages which we make in-house. They're all specialty sausages. So we would have a traditional sweet and hot sausage. Then we do special fillings. So it might have chicken and mortadella in it, or it might be Robbie and provolone. And we make these, again, in small batches. And that pretty much gives us that freshness we're looking for. And again, the customer really appreciates that too. A lot of times you'll see our customers, unlike many places, we preach education here. We want our customer to engage, to talk, because sometimes the customers bring us ideas too. But basically, we want people to talk. We don't want you to take a number. There is no number system in the store. Absolutely fought it from the day I opened up. You can go to a supermarket if you want a number system. You come here, you need to talk to the individual that's behind the counter, develop a relationship, be able to look him in the eye and say, this is what I'd like, can you tell me about it? How should I cook it? Should I braise it? Should I cook it in the oven? What's the easiest way? I'm doing a special party. What would you recommend? You need to have those kinds of dialogues, because that's missing. That's one of the key things that's missing today. People are just not talking. Grab and go, grab and go, grab and go. So we try to educate. It makes it for a much better experience, much more fulfilling experience, at least from where I come from. Some of the pastas that we make, that we manufacture filled pastas like tortellini, ravioli. We also manufacture string pastas like fettuccine, bucatini, and we manufacture things like rigatoni and penne. And we do a spaghetti, we do a pergitelli, and we make these in different varieties. So we might make those with spinach. We might make them with squid ink. We do a stuffed shell, we do a manicotti. Anything in the pasta line, we make it. There are very few things that we haven't made in the course of the years that we've been making pasta. And usually, most of these specialty items are made by hand. So it's very labor intensive, but we get the quality that we need, and we know that it will stand up. This area here is pretty much mostly Italian restaurants, and it's, as I said, Providence is Little Italy, and many of the same people have been here many, many years. So the tradition continues.
Next door to the market and deli is Venda Constantino's, a full-service restaurant and pizza kitchen, where they make traditional wood-fired Neapolitan pizza using a special oven imported from Italy. There is a huge variety of menu items to choose from, but by far the most popular item on the menu is the decadent, world-famous lobster ravioli with shrimp and pink vodka sauce.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Chiero for Constantino's restaurant, and today we're going to be making a few of our dishes from our menu. One lobster ravioli and an eggplant ravioli. The lobster ravs come with a pink vodka sauce and a few shrimp, and the eggplant agnolotti actually today come with sausage, marinara sauce, and smoked mozzarella. Okay, so first we're going to drop our lobster ravs into boiling water here. Shake the pan a little bit so they don't stick to the bottom or to each other. Now for the sauce, we'll start with the garlic. Just a little bit of oil just to get it going. A little butter. The raviolis take about, I'd say about 5 to 6 minutes. Once they start to float, that means that the inside's defrosted, and I don't know the science behind it, but they start to float, and then it's another 3 minutes or so to let the pasta around the outside cook completely through to an al dente. This is just generic vodka. Pour it off to the side so it doesn't flame up like crazy. Let the alcohol reduce out a little bit. We add a little chicken stock. Heavy cream. And let that reduce by about half. Check our rags, make sure they're not cooking. And wait ever so patiently. So at this point, we would add a few shrimp and let them sort of poach in the cream. Check our ribs. So they start to get a little bit soft, but now we got to cook the outsides where the two pieces of pasta are connected. It's a little bit thicker, so it needs a little bit of extra time to make sure those are al dente. Flip our shrimp and add a touch of our marinara. Just make the pink. So at this point I'll add grated Romano. This was what we use to sort of thicken it. Besides the cream reducing, the Romano also brings it together. And a little bit of basil for flavor. Add our lobster ravs. In the last minute of cooking, we take them out and let them finish reducing in the sauce, so the sauce really starts to incorporate into the pasta, so it's one, cohesive dish. That's it. Now we'll take our plate. A couple of shrimp around the middle. A little extra splash of sauce, and that's Venda's world famous lobster raviolis. Okay, so now we're going to be making our eggplant. Today we're going to be using agnolotti, the half moon eggplant filled red pasta. So in the same way, we drop our pasta. It's better to shake them than to stick a pair of tongs or even a spoon, because at this point they're very fragile. So for the sauce, we'll start with some olive oil. So it's an olive oil blend, so there is some extra virgin oil for flavor, and then there's canola and grapeseed for the temperature. Sort of raises the smoke point, better for searing things. So this is a local Graziano sausage. Come on it a little bit. I take it out of the casing. At this point I would add some chicken stock. Check our wraps. Add a little bit of basil for flavor. So, at this point we'd add some of our marinara. Round out the sauce. So our marinara is very basic. We use a quality plum tomato. It's olive oil and garlic, and then a tomato. It's the quality of tomato really kind of makes the sauce. I mean, it's very basic ingredients. It's nothing magic about it except a good tomato. We let it cook about 3-4 hours. We let it reduce or simmer to take a little bit of the acid out, and we add some basil at the end. So this dish, again, we take the pasta out about a minute before it's done to let it finish cooking in the sauce. Add a little bit of grated Romano. And then we have thin sliced smoked mozzarella. Put one slice on each agnolotti. Pop it in the oven and let it melt 1 minute. So when the cheese is melted, we remove it. Put it up. A little gooey, a little smoky. Like a sausage and sauce right in the middle. That's it. Eggplant agnolotti with smoked mozzarella and sausage. Done.
Oh, that is gorgeous. The eggplant and the sausage and the smoked mozzarella and the beautiful kind of a light marinara, little touch of garlic. What a beautiful meal. Rich but not overpowering. And that pasta, what a difference when you have homemade.